Hi, welcome back to another episode of Life Changers, and my name is Mike. So, as the title says, is how I lost myself. But you're saying, Mike, how can you lose yourself when you're talking right now? It's a figure of speech, okay, people? No. But seriously, I don't understand it. All I know is for the last probably couple of months, I've been trying to find myself in that sense. So, I mentioned it many times before, but when I was younger, it's like the whole world was my oyster. Anything I wanted, I made happen. Anything at all. Like everything was positive. Everything was awesome. It was just like, yeah, I couldn't ask for a better thing. Like I just felt like I owned the world. But I remember the specific time I'm with my buddy. And so just a little background. We used to go rock climbing a lot. We started when we were 14 years old. We used to go rock climbing a lot. We used to go paintballing a lot. Like we just always outside, always doing stuff. Not afraid of heights. I love heights. I would, when I go rock climbing sometimes, we'd climb a 100-foot cliff. Sometimes I'd free climb it. Like one time we're just hanging out with my buddy and we're climbing. And then one of the other ropes we had set up to belay down, to like climb down with. Because that's fun just to belay down and pretend you're in the Matrix and you're running on the walls and stuff on the cliffs. But anyways, one of them was unhooked. So I just free climbed it. Just grabbed the rope, free climbed all the way up and like quick as you can. And, just an athlete, just go, go, go. Just the world is my oyster. And then anyways, one day, I'm 18 years old and me and my buddy are climbing really, really tall trees. So you couldn't really climb them. So we threw our ropes with a little rock, lead line, because we want to climb this huge tall tree. And we throw the rope, then the rock goes over, comes down, then we tie a bigger rope and we keep on doing that until we get our rock climbing ropes on. And then we can climb up. And normally I would just, once the main rope's on, you hook out for safety. We have a harness and everything, and you hook on for safety, and then you just go and climb, and then you tighten the rope as you go up. And then if you need a rest, you just sit there, and you could hang there, and then, okay, continue climbing. So it's not like I could fall and get hurt. And we're just going up. And I remember I'm just going up like, all gun-ho, just climbing up. And then I just stopped and froze, looked down and just froze. And I don't understand because you got to remember, not afraid of heights. I used to, for jokes, when I go rock climbing with people, I would literally even just for fun, when I make it to the top of the cliff, I would hook myself on the line going down, like our belay line, and I'll self-belay, and I would just jump off. Just jump off. Whee! And then the rope catches and you land and you swing and hit the wall with your feet. And then and people were thinking like, you're crazy, man. I thought you just jumped off the cliff. And I just think that was fun. I'd be like, this is awesome. Right? Because, hey, I'm invincible, right? I'm invincible. But I don't know. At that day, something changed in my brain of some sort where I just, instead of before it was just like, in my head was probably like, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, I'm invincible, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you could fall and die. I'm like, what? I can? This rope can snap. That branch could do this. And it's just all this negativity just smacked me in the face. And even my buddy was like, hey, Mike, what's going on up there? Climb up the tree. And I'm shaking and I'm sweating. I get up there. My buddy comes up and we're just sitting there on the ledge on the tree branch. We're just talking. And he's like, what's going on? Are you all right? I said, I don't know, man. I just don't feel like me. So many years go by, and here I am talking to you. And yeah, I come to realize that I think I took a piece of my younger self. For whatever reason, something changed in my mind. And I just kind of like, hey, because I turned 18. I'm supposed to be turning into an adult, more responsibility in my life. I don't know. And then I just started, I don't know, it's weird. I'm still going through this part of the journey of how I lost myself, but all I know is I'm finding him again. I did something called self-forgiveness, sound meditation, sound bath, when I was at an event. And, it was new to me. So the lady was talking to me, and then she does the sound, and then she tells you to think of things that you want to forgive yourself of. And, I didn't really want to forgive myself, but I just wanted to find myself. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry I locked you up, old Mike, the young Mike that's like, the world is your oyster, nothing could stop you. Just, I don't know, you didn't even give good vibes, like good vibrations when I was younger. And then as I got older, it's kind of like I started shielding myself, going, maybe I'm not as cool as I thought, or I'm not as smart as I thought, or I'm not as good as I thought at this. But before, I didn't care what anybody thought. I just do me and do whatever I wanted. And then, yeah, so we're doing the sound thing, and she's going with all these different things like drums and hitting crystal bowls and stuff. And I was just thinking about like what happened that day. And then I kind of like found, I guess, my old self just chilling in a dark spot in my brain, it seems. Just like, hey, hi, I'm Fun Mike over here. I'm Athlete Mike. What's going on with Slow Mike over here, over there, right? I'm like, hey, man. And all this is just going on in my, like, I don't know if I'm really talking to myself, hanging out with myself, but this is like, it just felt real to me. And I'm just like, hey, what happened that day? And it's just like, I don't know. You just shoved me out of the way and took over. I'm like, really? But like, why negative all of a sudden? That's what you open your heart to. And I'm like, really? Like, I'm not even today, I'm not a negative person. Like, I'm a positive, happy-go-lucky guy. And even though there's a lot of negativity everywhere in the world, and there's always negativity, and there's always good, amazing people and positive people out there too. So I choose to focus on the positive, and I try to stay away from negative. And I'm just like, really? And it's like, well, you letting me out? I'm like, yeah. And I just reached out my arm, and I'm like, come on up. Like, I want you to take control again. Like, I'm not doing a good job. Like, I don't think I'm half as a I guess a man that you were. Like, just anything I wanted, I made just happen. Like, it just came to pass, you know, like, boom, I wanted it, it happened. And nowadays I find I have to like work in the sense of learning different methods of manifestations, and really trying hard and trying to push the negative out and try not to chase, like we talked about in previous episodes. And then a few weeks went on, and then I ended up at another event, and the lady's like, have you ever had Reiki before? And I'm like, no. And my wife's like, well, I signed you up. And the lady's like, yeah, it's only an introduction, half hour, maybe 40-minute Reiki. And she's like, I do the ancient Japanese Reiki that I learned from a Japanese master, and it's like really old, and it might not be same as, I guess, modern Reiki, she was saying. And I'm like, well, I don't know much about it, but let's do it. I'm open to anything. I want to find myself. I want the old Mike back, who's just like puppies and rainbows. I just want the old stuff back where it's just like la di da di da da da. Anything I want happens because I'm awesome. Because we are all awesome. Like, we need, I guess, our inner child or our inner youth just to come back. Like, for some reason, we took our youth and we're like, hey, I know you're invincible, man, but now I'm not. Well, I want that back. I don't care about anything else. I just want that. Hey, anything I want, anything I manifest, I want to connect back to the universe and just be like, yeah, puppies and rainbows, the whole world is my oyster. And then she's just like, okay. And then I lie down and she did the Reiki. And then after the Reiki, we're talking. And she's like, you have a really strong connection. I'm like, what do you mean? She says, like, you're really connected through your chakras. You know what chakras are? I'm like, yeah, I know what chakras are. And for those who are listening that don't know what chakras are, look into it. It's really awesome. But chakras are energy centers in a nutshell, on different points of our body. And she's like, your third eye chakra is halfway closed, but mostly like halfway open, right? And then your crown chakra is just like open and just willing to learn and just open to the universe and anything out there. She's like, I never seen like it's so open before, and all your other chakras are pretty good. Like, you have really spiritual connection with the universe. I was like, okay. I'm like, yes, I'm a yogi. I meditate 24 hours a day, but not really. Like, I need to meditate more. But she's like, so what did you experience in that? Because like, I just felt like really energized and like everything. And I'm like, well, in the end, like, in my experience was, I felt different points all over my body of energy, just like connecting all over the world. And some of them were negative points. And then my old self was like, hey, old Mike. These ones are the negative points that started connecting that day. You should cut those. And I felt like, I was just pretending in my head that I would cut those, boop, boop, and then like elastics just take off. And then only the good ones remained. And I felt like really good and relaxed that like I'm giving more control back to my old self, which is the real me. And I feel like I'm connecting to my higher self a lot more stronger. And, like I just try to talk about it in real world terms and life because like I'm not a yogi master. I haven't traveled to India to learn anything about meditations and yogis and stuff, which one day I'd like to. But I'm a busy man. I'm a busy person. I'm always hustling and working and just going with the flow of life, just enjoying it. But yeah, it's just I'm trying to bring back my old self, and I feel like I reconnected with him and that he's going to take back control. Because I don't like I don't know what happened that day, but I just don't like not knowing. I like being in control. I like feeling like sunny, bright days always, even though it's raining, those who watch Winnie the Pooh where it's like, hey, it's a nice day, Eeyore. No, it's going to be cloudy, so it's going to rain. No, I want it to be like, yeah, man, even if it's raining, it's like, hey, it's awesome. I could use a shower. But I don't know. I'm just bringing it into this part of my life just because it's a main thing that before, like I was like the world, I owned the world. I felt like I owned it at that age. And then just literally that one day just gone. And I'm like, what happened? And I talk about it a lot the last few months. And I'm coming to realize that like, yeah, I probably put that old me in a box for some reason, or I don't know, I connected to the wrong energy length out there while I was climbing the tree or something. But hey, if any of you guys have answers for me, if anybody out there has answers, please comment below. Let me know what happened that day. But all I know is I'm working real hard and he's coming back and I'm pushing out and cleaning out all my chakras and pushing out all the negativity energy and just having the positive energy that I had. Like when I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but I would literally like go walk into a room somewhere and people would be like, Mike's here. We feel the fun energy. And then, I don't know, like now when I walk in a room, nobody notices unless I'm like, hey guys, what's up? Like, hey, we didn't even see you walk in. And I know it probably sounds like cocky or stupid or whatever, but that's the energy I gave off before. It's just like positive, loving, good energy. And I guess maybe the next episode we'll talk about all like the different energies and stuff like that. And we'll just see where it ends up, I guess. Like we'll take it as it comes. But thank you very much for listening to today's episode. And hey, if the other one's already up, you should listen to it. If it's not up yet, it'll be up soon. Thank you very much. This is Mike with Life Changers. And remember, you're a work in progress. It takes one day at a time.